right. So it looks like we've got a small group again today. But thank you for sharing and for or not for sharing, sorry, for joining and for coming back. I know Ms. Bedoya. You've been with us for the past couple of parent coffee corners as well as Ms. Bernardino. So thank you for joining us. And we have a new parent today, Ms. Villegas. We want to welcome you. Thank you for joining our parent coffee corner today.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We're happy to have you here. Okay, so we have a couple of, this is our agenda for the day. We have a couple of updates and announcements for you. Some Ms. Justine's gonna share some College and Career Center updates. Then Ms. Martinez will be sharing some counseling department updates. And we have a workshop that Ms. Martinez is gonna lead today on homework tips and study skills. But we're flexible also if, Ms. Martinez, I don't know if we want to go ahead and share maybe like a condensed version of it and give parents some time to ask questions if they have any, because I know we're trying to figure out like our reentry plans, so parents might have questions.
That's fine. Yes.
Awesome. So that's what we'll give you some time at the end for questions. And if we don't have the answers, we promise to go back to our administration and we'll get you those answers by our following Parent Coffee Corner, or if you give us your information, then we can contact you as well. So just really quickly, for those of you who have been with us at Parent Coffee Corner before, we've shared our family support virtual drop-in hours that happen every Wednesday. So if you don't already know, Paramount High School has a collaboration is collaborating with 211 LA, and we have a representative. Her name's Cynthia Torres, and she's available every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. via Zoom to offer any type of resources that the family might be needing. And so that's anything from like food, all the way to like academic support, health resources. If you need support, you or someone that you know needs support applying for CalFresh or housing, then that's all areas that we can support you in. We're always available. I'll show you a QR code in a second where you can contact us, but this is every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. The Zoom link or the Zoom meeting ID is at the very bottom. So you want to take a screenshot of this page so that you remember. You can drop in, say hello to us. We love seeing our parents and sometimes just hanging out. Another awesome resource that we have is that on Fridays, we're offering grocery kits on top of the grab and go meals that you pick up on Fridays. So if you have an opportunity to join every Friday from 7:30 to 11 a.m. At the schools, I believe there's 6 schools. You'll see them at the very bottom of the flyer. The schools that are offering grab and go, and they're also offering a separate like grocery kit with, I believe it's both perishable and non-perishable items. So again, if you can go and pick these up, if you know of some other parents or other families at Paramount High School that could benefit from this resource, please also always share with them. And then these are the QR codes. So the first one to your left, if you scan that QR code, it'll take you to the PHS Family Resource Center. We have a ton of resources there, and at the very top, you'll see a contact tab, and you'll see my information. My name is Esmeralda, and I work for community schools at Paramount High School. And so you'll see my information and how to contact me, as well as my colleague Cynthia, our 211 LA representative. Her phone number and her email is also there. And then the one to your right, our support services, and this is a website. Well, the QR code will lead you to the social worker's website, and you'll find a lot of like social emotional supports there for your students and for yourselves as parents as well. So I'll leave this up for a little bit so that you can take a screenshot, or if you want to scan the QR code and save it on your phone so that you can access it later. And then lastly, if I don't know if you know, but May is Mental Health Month, Mental Health Awareness Month. And so community schools and the school social workers are trying to put together, or not trying, we're putting together a video featuring students, teachers, and staff. And we want to include our parents too. showing us what you do to practice self-care, anything from running, reading, dancing. And so we need your help because we want to feature or showcase our parents too. And so if you can send us a short video, 20-second or less, I'll show you some examples that we've already gotten right now. If you can just show us what you do to practice self-care, you can send the videos to my email address, which is on the slide, or there's also a Google Doc form that we've created to make it a little bit easier for parents to just submit their videos there. And let me stop sharing for a little bit, or not stop sharing, but get out of the PowerPoint to show you some of the videos that we've already received, just so you get an idea. This is from one of our teachers. Can you hear?
There's a saying says that love is blind. Still we're often told, seek and ye shall find. So I'm going to seek a certain land I've had in mind.
So that's one of them. We had our assistant principal, Mr. Gutierrez. This is actually an old video. So if you already have something in your camera roll that you would like to share with us of fun things that you like to do to take care of yourself, what helps you, you can send that over to. So Mr. Gutierrez went snowboarding during the winter, and he had a video, and that's what he
Nah,
submitted.
you're good, man. Don't worry. We'll do selfies. Woo!
Just so you get an idea of the submissions we've gotten. We also had another teacher who edited her own video of a family trip that she took with her daughter to the LA Zoo. And so she submitted that. But if we can really, if we can get your support, we're really trying to include just all our parents play an important role. And so we want to also our students to see that we all take care of ourselves in very different ways, like gardening or taking family trips, going snowboarding, mountain biking, singing, reading, meditating. I mean, it's endless, right? The things that the things that we do to take care of ourselves. And then also just as an incentive, we will be raffling a couple of gift cards for both parents and students. So students will be getting or raffling, we will be raffling oh my gosh, where am I? Sorry. There we go. We will be raffling $15 Starbucks gift cards for our students. And then for our parents, we will be raffling out also $15 to Kroger. And so you can use those at like Ralph's and Food for Less. So if we can get your support, we would really appreciate it. You can send it to the email you see there, and then I'll also I'll put the link to the Google form in the chat box to make it a little bit easier for you. And that's all the announcements that I have. So I'm going to pass it over to Ms. Justine with some college and career updates.
That is super cool. I love seeing the examples because then it kind of showed me like what I should do. Because I was like, how do I record myself running? Like I'm gonna be out of breath. I'm gonna be out of breath in the video, but it's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
so hi, my name is Miss Justine. I am with the College and Career Center. I'm a college advisor. So a few things going on with us is right now, a few senior updates is the big one is next Saturday. We're gonna is May 1st. So it's the intent to enroll due date. So every single like UC, Cal State, they all need to just commit to what school they want to go to. So, and then you have to pay like a deposit. So we want to get all these students to enroll. We are having workshops for that. every single day next week. So Monday through Friday. I had one today too, and I had about 4 students, but many saying they're still thinking about it and if we were doing this next week. So I know a lot of students are thinking about this, and it is a hard deadline of May 1st. So we want to get those done as soon as possible for our seniors. Additionally, we are still doing community college enrollment. So every single Friday, I'm hosting workshops at 1 o'clock to still help students enroll in community college. If that time doesn't work for them, we are all open for appointments, so we can still help them enroll through appointment as well. Something that also we have going on is the PUP. So it's PUP, but it stands for the Paramount University Pass. I think this is super neat. It's basically like a free bus pass, and you can go to anywhere within like Long Beach, a few parts of LA, gets to Cerritos. It goes everywhere. And then the Long Beach Transit even takes you to Seal Beach. So it's basically free transportation. The schools that do participate in this, like that you can take the Metro or Long Beach Transit to, is going to be Cal State Long Beach, Cal State Dominguez Hills, Cerritos, and LBCC. So those 4 schools, the Paramount University Pass can take you straight to campus. So if you aren't looking to buy a parking pass, you can just use this as transportation. I used the Long Beach Transit to get to school when I went to Cal State Long Beach. So it is really, really helpful, and it saves on time for parking purposes. So if you are interested, we have dropped the phone number there so you can get an application. Once you call, they can give you the information to apply for the Paramount University Bus Pass. Lastly, for senior updates, we do have, we're doing like Padlet for the class of 2021, basically for every single senior to say where they got accepted to and where they're planning on committing to. So there are a few examples that we have for the class of 2020, what they did last year, and how students, like, you can put a picture of yourself and with like maybe a shirt of where you're going to go. You can say a video of all the schools that you're planning on going to. So I know it is loading, and we're going to show you a few examples of last year's Padlet. This year we don't have too many up yet, so definitely tell your seniors, tell them to post. Oh no. But tell your seniors for this year's link. They can also access the link through the Paramount High Instagram. It's in the bio of the Instagram, so feel free to have them put their information in there as well. If they don't want to put a photo or video, that's fine too. We just want to know where everyone's going. Super excited to share all those accomplishments.
So for some reason, it's not loading.
Yeah, I think it's having trouble right now.
Huh.
It loads on my end. So weird.
It might be my internet, and I'm in the office today, so
Okay.
I don't know why.
Oh,
it's
there
not
you go.
working. Thank you for your patience, everyone. No, it's not working, Justine. Would you like to
Okay,
share?
no worries. What was that?
You can share your screen if you want.
Okay, yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm so used to like Google Meet, even though I like Zoom more. Okay, so these are a few examples from last year. So 2020's class of 2020 acceptance letters. So again, we have photos. A lot of people say everywhere they were accepted to, and then where they committed to, for right here, right? So just a lot of different examples, super cute, because then you can see where everyone's going, and then you can, even for the seniors, they can come on here and say, oh my God, no way, this person's going here, how awesome. So just nice for all of them to share their accomplishments. So here's again the example of last year's, putting where they're going with his mask. That's funny. That's good. So yeah, so we're basically doing that again this year. Not many people have put anything yet, so definitely tell your seniors for sure. But okay, I'm gonna go back to the main screen. So I can share this real quick since I'm already here. So additionally, for underclassmen updates, we just finished the Juniors Jump into College series. So hosting workshops in regards to financial aid, if they have questions on that, or the 4 college systems, even though there's more, we did go into detail, but just things to know about college, right? So we finished that series, and now we're gonna gear it more towards our sophomores. So I'm starting sophomore college search, right? So we want to put that alliteration in there and make it fun for the students. Almost the same thing. We will be explaining the different college systems, also explaining financial aid, but being a little more broad without also maybe going through A through G's, you know. So we are starting that starting Tuesday, May 4th. And then for also underclassmen, we have virtual college fairs coming up. So we have one on the 24th, and then yesterday we had Cash for College virtual college fair, but there is another one coming up on the 27th. So we will be posting about those on Schoology, getting all that information out to students. Lastly, for underclassmen, specifically juniors, we have the Experience Berkeley program. They did extend the deadline to April 30th. So if we have any junior parents with junior students that are interested, they still have about roughly 8 more days to apply. I know it does require like a few short response, like 250-word question responses. So I would have the students start as soon as possible if they are interested. But yeah, so that's basically all that's going on for the College and Career Center right now. Ms. Martinez, I think you're muted. Sorry. I hate when that
I'm
happens.
speaking, I'm thinking. Well, thank you very much, Justine.
Of
There's a
course, of
lot
course.
going on, and we really do truly appreciate you for sharing all that wonderful information for especially for our 10th and 11th graders that truly need the information to get them ready for next school year. Now, as far as the counseling department is concerned, right now, all the counselors, we're still meeting with having the parent-teacher conferences with our senior parents, especially for those senior parents, seniors that received an NC or a D in one of their core classes or courses that are required for graduation, just to kind of get them a notification, let them know that they still, that they still have enough time to raise up their current grades to pass in order for them to graduate. We have 6 weeks. That's without counting finals week. So that's what the counselors are doing right now, is just to make sure that we get our seniors through the finish line. At the same time, we're still working on summer school. I know that I spoke with one of the parents at the beginning in regards to what the summer school entails. As of right now, what we are projecting to have, we're projecting for summer school is that we want to offer in-person summer school, at least for 2 sessions, as well as distant learning, what we have currently doing right now for the distant learning, and also the Ingenuity, which is the online course. They will be sending students, and I believe parents as well, as far as a survey, what would they prefer, what platform their students would prefer to partake as far as summer school, and we will try our best to provide them with their first choice. But if that's not the case, then we will provide them with their second or third choice. Along with that, we're also planning for next school year as far as events and programs to get, to have everything in place, so that way when we start the school year, we have that already in place. And we're also discussing the reentry. I know that there were 3 questions that were addressed as far as a survey that was given to the staff members in regards to what areas are a concern. And those areas were areas as far as concerns regarding students. And some of the areas that were more common among staff that they felt they was needed to address was the anxiety and depression among students, as well as the academic success, how to go about in addressing that, being that we've been away from school. And when I say away from school, to the physical setting and having our what we tend to see as far as what school is, the normal school, I guess, parentheses, because I know that some students as well as parents felt that some students lost some of the academic progress. So how we address that when we do come back, and also how to foster community and culture collaboration. So those are the 3 areas that we're have been addressing to support not only our staff, but our students and also our community, which is our parents. So those are the areas that we're working as a department. Now, another thing that we would like to provide, share with you is a PowerPoint presentation. Let's see if you can give me a second so I can share. Oh, I can share my screen because I have it ready. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that we wanted to share with parents, especially like I said, we only have 6 weeks before the semester ends, and I feel that this is it's not only pertinent to what we're trying to get the students to the finish line, but also it'll be just a good helpful tips for parents and also for study skills ideas to help at home. One of our objectives is, of course, to identify the primary concerns and the difference between homework and studying, because oftentimes a lot of students tend to don't think that homework, if they don't have something to turn in, then therefore they have no homework, that therefore they're not going to study. And also, why is homework assigned? And then also guidelines to reduce the homework headache. Yes, as a parent, we have those homework headaches on a daily basis. And then strategies to provide students to encourage positive students' study skills. And just to kind of, I said, what do you hope to learn? It's just ideas to stop the arguments at home over homework, especially when it's time to ask when, have you done homework? And when you know that your child hasn't done it, and there's that back and forth as far as with our child and arguing if they have done their homework, and if they haven't, do they study, and also increase our child's motivation and interest in school, and then strategies to improve your child's academic achievement, especially for this coming school year. And then having common goals, because teachers and parents share a common goal, and that is to help each child be successful. And homework is an opportunity for families and students and schools to work together and how to help our students become successful. And ultimately, the goal is for students to work independently. Now, the difference between homework versus study skills. Now, homework is a task to be completed, just as I stated earlier. It's something that needs to be turned in the next day, and then the students should be able to complete it on their own. Whereas a study is something that is not necessarily something that they have to turn in, but something like, for example, reading ahead of time. And oftentimes a lot of our teachers provide them with a syllabus, which is an agenda, what they're going to cover for the week, so they can prepare for tomorrow. And this also requires self-motivation, and Notionally doesn't self-motivation, and it sets the groundwork for success as far as study habits. And then, why is homework assigned? And this is something I always tell students. The reason the homework is assigned is just to reinforce what was taught in the classroom. And also, research studies show that the amount of time students spend learning a skill directly affects their ability to master it. So homework is a powerful tool because it lets parents know what the child is learning. Also, it gives the parents and child something to talk about, and gives teachers an opportunity to hear from parents as well. And then homework is designed to develop the child's mind and skills, especially, for example, for math, the subject math. The reason that math it's assigned is just to, again, reinforce what was learned in the classroom, to review and practice what they learned, so that way they can master it so when they come back the next day, the learning process wasn't lost during the gap from class to home to the next day. And it also helps the child to be ready for the next day, next day's class. and as well as inform the parent, what the child is learning, and at the same time it gives them learns the resources such as such as library resources material, especially when they have to do research papers, and how to go about and utilizing some of the resources that they need to compile to do that research paper. And homework can also improve the child's thinking and memory, and have them develop good study skills, and then also to encourage the child to use their time wisely. And again, work independently and take responsibility for their work. Now, tips for parents for the homework environment. Again, it's create positive attitude, because sometimes as parents, we use homework as a punishment, where if we tend to use homework as a punishment, then it has a negative connotation towards that learning process. So we want to make it positive, and encourage, make school and homework a priority, establish a routine. Once a student has that routine, then it just automatically, the time is set aside in regards to when homework is done. Set a homework test or table or location where the student knows that would be their area of work, and then develop positive reinforcement. When you know that your child is doing it independently, and provides necessary supplies. And when we say necessary supplies, can be like, pens, paper, pencil, a small dictionary. Oftentimes I always make sure that my children at home have a dictionary, so when they come across a word that they don't understand or doesn't know the meaning, they know where to go and look for it. There's 8 core cures for the homework help. I said, 1, my child has too much homework, and oftentimes I've heard this also. So we can break up the assignments to manageable chunks. What does that mean? It can mean that you can either talk to the teacher if necessary, if you feel that that's a lot of homework, or you can also break it down as far as how much time they're spending in homework. So that's 1. 2, my child claims to never have homework. Often, how many parents have that? Too many. Too many, and that would be also my child. When I asked, have you have homework? Oh, my teacher didn't give me homework. You can always check with your teacher, and especially now that we have technology, you can always check with on Schoology to make sure if there is any assignments that were given, or if there's any missing assignments that the student hasn't turned in. You can always check now, as far as it's a tip as far as technology is concerned. The third one, my child won't turn in his or homework. You'd be surprised. Oftentimes, I've heard that students do their work, but they won't turn it in. So we can explain that school is like their job, and then also tell them their expectation. And this is what I tell a lot of the students is, look at it as school is it's like if you're going to work, you come in at 8, go into work at 8, and you get off of work at 3 o'clock, just as school. And we can reinforce the consequences for not meeting expectations. And oftentimes it goes back to number 2. Number 2 is that if the student is not doing what they're expected to do, then there should be consequences. And some of the consequences might be, for example, if they didn't do what they were required to do, then one privilege can be taken away. Privilege can be from a cell phone, TV, radio, whatever that might be, and then we can start fresh in the next day. My child procrastinates. Check your child's progress closely, and then on daily homework and long-term projects. And again, it goes back on Schoology. You can check on that. Check on their assignments that they've done, if they've turned them in, or if there are any missing assignments. Or you can also have them have a planner where they can write their assignments and their due date for their projects or projects that they have to turn in. So that way you as well as your child can monitor deadlines as well as their progress on a daily basis. And then my child is disorganized. How many of you have gone into your child's backpack and they see a disarray of papers all over? And what I don't understand, especially in their binder, they have a three ring binder, but there's nothing on the three-ring binder, but on the side pockets, everything is there. It's all bunched up. And that's where we need to make sure that our child is organized. And by that, you don't have to go and buy little tabs, color paper, or, we can be creative and create those little tabs with with tape and just separate by subjects. So that way we can create a system that works for your child and also help him or her, showing them how to stay organized. And then we also remind them that there's consequences for disorganization. So if they did something and they put it somewhere in their pocket, on the side pocket, or just threw it there, and then they know that they have it, but they don't, they waste more time looking for the assignment than they actually spend on doing it. So again, we have to make sure that we help our child be more organized. And now this is the other extreme, from a student that's disorganized to a student that is perfectionist. And that also can sometimes create some headaches. And they want us to make sure that we set time limits on homework, because we do have those students that just they study overtime, overload. It's 12, it's 10 or 11 o'clock at night and they're still studying, when that they've been studying since the moment they got home from school, they've been studying. So yes, we can give them praise for good work, but also we have to remind them that that you do not expect perfection. And then we can encourage them to do other activities to develop additional interests. So besides just school, we can encourage them to do, outside, do other additional interests, if it's running, or if it's a sport, or if it's just some time, meditation, just something that just takes them, gives them a well balance. So that way it's not, they're not overdoing it with just studying, and becomes a little bit overwhelming for not just for the student, but also for the family. And then my child argues with me over homework. How many of us have had that? Don't engage in the argument. Just stick to your set time and routine for homework. So if you set this time, and when we said set time, let's say, for example, everybody gets home at 7 o'clock. It could be either, let's say, at 6 o'clock, everything is turned off. All electronic devices are turned off, the TV is turned off, and then for an hour, it's quiet time. And that quiet time can be for homework. And now if your child says, I don't have homework, or I don't have homework, it's reading time. Even the parents can participate also. This, you can pick up a book, you can pick up a newspaper, whatever it is. It's also bringing it, you're reinforcing that you're giving school and homework a priority in your household. So you're creating that set time as well as the routine for your child to know that this is important not only for them, but also for you as a parent. So that way you're reinforcing, also providing them support. And then also explain that there's also consequences clearly for not doing their homework. And those consequences can be such as not passing and not being prepared for a test, or not passing the course. And if they don't pass the course, then that's just going to set them back, and they will have to come to summer school and make up a class that they could have made it the first time. And also let your child take responsibility for their own learning. And last, I said, if I can't help, but I said, oftentimes I have parents, I can't help them. I can't help them because I don't understand the assignment, or you don't have the language. So we can seek it, seek a guidance from the textbook or your child. Now, because now we have everything in our hand, in our fingertips, such as their internet, there's always chance. When I don't understand something that my child asks me, I can look it up to kind of, for me to review or get a concept, get a little bit more information, especially for math. I tend to do the YouTube videos to go over a math problem that she is having difficulty, so that way it can refresh my memory. Once I kind of get a concept of what the problem is, then I can go back and assist and support my child. Another thing, also another resource is also that the district partnered with My Paper, which is My Tutor, which is a tutoring resource for students. And it's a 24-hour, 7 days a week. It's a tutoring service. It's a live person on the other side of the computer, and to assist and support students in any subject matter. And oftentimes students tend to do their homework after school hours, meaning that if they get stuck in a problem or need a clarification, but they don't have access to their teacher because it's after school hours, they can go into My Tutor and they can get that assistance. Another resource can be your public library. All you need is just a library card, and there's tons of resources to support not only the student, but also the family in regards to the homework. Working to one's full potential. And again, children need to know when they haven't done their best work. And, instead of criticizing, there's constructive criticism. Share ideas to improve their own work, ask to see their great work in tests, especially when you know that your child had been studying the night before or have been preparing for this test. Always make sure, how did you do? Do inquiries in regards to their assignments, because that way they know that what they feel more appreciative, and they know that their hard work is noticed. And these are just some tips in regards to study skills, flashcards, memorizing in chunks of information over time instead of all at once. Oral quizzes. This is something that I do with my daughter, that when she has a quiz, I do a lot of oral quizzes with her just to get her prepared for a quiz or a test. Review notes and study guides that oftentimes our teachers do provide our students, just to get them ready for a test or a quiz. And then our kids are never too old for parents to continue to be involved. Ask questions about assignments and tests, just as I mentioned. Monitor their homework time. Find ways to help with studying. And again, parents, oftentimes, you might not know what they're studying if they're pre-calculus, for example, because I'm one of those. Math has never been my forte. But just the simple fact that you're sitting next to them, and you might not help them with the material, but you're being supportive and being there. So I always said this, when my mother, bless her soul, when I was going to school, she couldn't help me because of the language barrier. But I know that the little things that she did for me just spoke volumes. And one of the things might be like that she might, do a hot cocoa for me, especially during the winter time, and put it there by the side of the table, knowing that I was studying, just to kind of little things like that. Or she would sit in the table, do her crocheting while I was studying, just to keep me company. Also, make sure that your parents also involve, if you want to know more in regards to your child is doing, we are also always encouraging parents to do parent-teacher conferences, because oftentimes when the parent asks me as a counselor how my child is doing, I can only inform them what they're doing, grades that's posted, but I really can't tell you what they're doing in class, because I don't have the best person as the teacher, so that way the teacher can give you more suggestions or ideas on how to support your child. And again, parents who are involved send messages that you're sending a message that you do care. So, and then just a little quote. parents are teachers first and foremost, influential teachers. By reading to your to children and having them read to us, by making sure homework is done, and by monitoring television uses, by knowing how children spend their time, parents can have a powerful positive effect on their child's learning. And again, this is not just in elementary, but this is again in middle school, high school, and beyond. So even if your older children, they can still do all this. You can, they can read to you, or you can, spend time monitor the following. Any questions? I know they would. Hold on. Any questions? The only thing I would suggest at this point, because I know it's high school, that there is Schoology, and I know that every week teachers do provide parents with a progress in regards to how they're doing. This is more the crucial time to start making sure that you monitor how they are doing, even though you might see an NC, meaning they're not currently passing the class, or your child sees that they're having an F and their percentage is low. I still tell a lot of the students, you still have time to pass your class. And don't focus on the percentage, and don't focus on the grade now. Focus on what you can do and move forward. Another thing is that a lot of the teachers, and this is something I share with the students as well as parents, teachers are very, very flexible, especially during this time. And when I say very flexible, it's because they understand that this is not a platform that a lot of students are conducive to learning, or they prefer to be in person. And because of that, they understand the situation, or they also might understand that the students might be going through some difficult situation, from social emotional to internet or Wi-Fi difficulties. So it's just a matter of communicating with their teachers, and the teachers are very flexible in understanding that they can make some exceptions. But the key point here is that the student has to reach out to the teacher. And also parents, you can always reach, you too can also send an email to the teachers to see what is it that you can do or to support your child. Because oftentimes what I've noticed is that when parent teachers communicate, there is a extra layer of monitoring the student. So not only are you parent monitoring your child, but also the teacher is more aware of your child because of that connection that they made with you as a parent. Because teachers have over 100 students that they see every single day. But if they, every day, but they might not know each of their students' parents, but because they made that connection, now they're more aware of your student. So your student not only is aware that they're being monitored at home, but also they're monitoring at school, because now the teacher's like, hey, Johnny, did you do this? Oh, Johnny, don't forget about this. So there's an extra layer of support there as well. Okay. Any questions? If not, I'm pretty, I am. No questions? Well, thank you. Is Mrs. Esmeralda still here?
I'm still here, yeah.
Okay. So,
Any other questions in general, not related to the PowerPoint, but any questions that you might have? If we don't have the answers today, we can always bring the questions back to our administrators, and then, like I said in the beginning, we can either contact you personally with the answer. If you join us the next meeting, we can share that, what we found, or the answers. No questions? Okay. I don't have any, Ms. Justine, do you have anything else to share? No.
No, nothing on my end, unless anybody has questions.
It doesn't sound like it. Okay, so then that's all we have for you today. Our next meeting is on May 6th, and we will have our promotores from the Department of Mental Health. I can't remember off the top of my head what the topic is right now, but I'll send out a Schoology message with the link again so you can join us for our next Parent Coffee Corner.
And just also, just in case, as after we finished our meeting today, if you did end up having a question, you can always email us and send us those questions. Especially, I know that I myself is getting questions in regards to graduation, especially for our seniors. What's the how's graduation going to look like? Or for my sophomores or juniors, if they're, summer school questions, or, questions in regards to, are we going back? How does that going to look, especially our parents, as far as next school year? How does that going to look like? So just, questions that you might have and might not be right now, but later on, you can always send us those questions, and we will be more than happy to reply.
I have a quick suggestion. I don't think I've noticed this for high school. 1 second.
No worries.
My apologies for that. A quick suggestion with Alondra Middle School, a suggestion that I had made early in the year is they were sending emails through Schoology, also recognizing children within the month. Oh, great job, kind of like a little recognition. And I had suggested, I know for high school it might be a little bit different, but I know that it would be a good idea if we also, talk to our children and recognize the teachers as well. I think that would be something that, would be nice to, just like we recognize children. I thought it'd be a good idea if, you talk to your children and, hey, sometimes there are those teachers that go that extra mile, that will, that will stay over, that will, go that extra mile to, help these kids during these tough times. So maybe, asking your kids, hey, do you have somebody you would want to recognize, and maybe, put it on Schoology, something like that.
That's a great idea. Thank you for the suggestion, especially now that we're talking about how we can help promote and build our school and community. I think that's something good to be able to recognize our teachers as well. Especially a lot of our teachers are experiencing burnout, and so I think that would definitely help boost morale as well. So thank you.
Yeah, I think that we administrative teachers, we tend to focus a lot on the children and families and have those resources out to them without, kind of stopping and thinking, what this teacher is going through as well, that there are, human beings, and, that little extra, that something so small, Ms. Gonzalez, when, thank you for, going that extra mile Tuesday. I appreciate it. And that little recognition, I think it would go a long way.
Thank you, Ms. Villegas, for the suggestion. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, and that definitely, especially next month, maybe we can send an email to the parents that we have emails from, and just kind of send in a a questionnaire in regards to if they have any teacher or staff that they would like to recognize during this time. So that way next month we can start sharing. If we do start sharing and just kind of like build our teachers, especially, it's true, we're all of us not, all of us are experiencing a little bit of the burn down, especially towards the ending of the school year. So before we finish the year, let's finish strong and boost them up so that way they can look forward to next school year.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. That's an excellent suggestion.
Yeah, and we want to hear from parents. So if you have any other suggestions, any comments, please feel free to share those with us now, or like Ms. Martinez said, you can always contact us and email us to make your suggestions. But we love hearing from you. We had another parent just join us. We're getting ready to wrap up, Miss. I'm not sure, but Gigi, that's the name I see on the screen. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if she's or he's connected to audio. All right, well, if there isn't anything else, again, we want to thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you here May 6th for our next Parent Coffee Corner. And we hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you. Do the same.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Esmeralda, can we stop recording?
Oh yeah, sorry.